Happy Memorial Day 2020. What an interesting time that we're living in, right? So tonight I'm just going to talk to you about giving thanks to all the veterans that have given their lives over all the wars, all the way back to the Civil War. Did you know that May 30th, 1868 was the first time that Memorial Day was observed? And that was after the Civil War because they were trying to memorialize all the people that had died in the Civil War. So that's the origin of Memorial Day. And I'm going to talk to you tonight about Memorial Day and just kind of get your ideas. Then thank God for America. God bless the USA. If you're catching this video anywhere in the United States and you celebrated Memorial Day, put an M in the comments. If you don't know who I am, I've been on a live video journey for the last 1,200 plus days. I go live daily with videos with the intent to connect with other people and help people just like you use videos to network online. And so I'm broadcasting to you live from the fabulous city of Las Vegas, Nevada. If you know or you have any veterans in your family, put a V in the comments. I could put a V in there. For myself, I'll put a V. Oh, yeah. I got a V. My family has been in the military. I don't know about yours. I'm actually the first generation that didn't go in the military, and I'll explain that to you in a couple of seconds. So let me know where you're tuning in from tonight, and we'll just kind of talk for a little bit about this country. You know, love it or leave it, if you've heard that saying before, right? I mean, gosh, whether you like who's in the office, who the president is, I always say it doesn't matter who's in the White House. You just have to take care of what's going on in your house. And if you've ever been anywhere else in the world, you know that we're pretty blessed here. And a lot of our blessings are on the backs and sacrifices of veterans that have made sacrifices over the years through all the different wars. I mean, in World War II alone, 300,000 people died, right? The Civil War was like 220,000 people died. Do you know the American Revolution, there was only 8,000 people that died? It's crazy, right? To think that we overthrew the British and only 8,000 people died. Well, because there wasn't that many people back then. But so I think that, you know, anytime I hear people complain about the way things are in this country, I just like to always go back and I like to think about how everybody wants to come to the United States still, right? It's like the land of the free, and the American dream, I believe it still exists here. There's so much opportunity, and we owe it to all the veterans. So I want to say thank you publicly to all the veterans that have made sacrifices, that have, given their life. But let's not forget about the families, okay? Because when somebody goes off and they go to do what they're doing and they're gone and they're deployed for a year, two at a time, it's so much stress on their families that are left behind. And then when something happens, they're the ones that are left to deal with the aftermath. Because you see, God bless our heroes that have made sacrifices for this country. But once they make that sacrifice and they go and they're with God, who's left behind? It's the families of the veterans. And let's not forget about our veterans. 7 veterans a day commit suicide in this country. They're victims too of whatever it is that they had to go through to defend this country. So let's not forget about them on this Memorial Day. During the barbecues and, thinking about the last 2 months of how we've had to make sacrifices and stay home and maybe do things that aren't comfortable and maybe be scared about what's going on, compared to what some of the veterans have been through. What we've been through the last 2 months is a picnic, guys. So hats off to all the veterans, on this Memorial Day. You know, the sacrifices for the families is really where it's at. And it reminds me of the movie Saving Private Ryan. Have you guys ever seen that movie, Saving Private Ryan? I think that's the best movie all time, like war movie, for so many reasons. For so many reasons. And did you know that Saving Private Ryan is one of the only movies that they show uncut, unedited, with the language, the blood, everything? They show it on national TV every single year. It's just one of the movies. It's one of the staples. And you just think about all those kids right out of high school, you know, that didn't have a chance. They got drafted. And so I told you that people in my family have been in the military. My father was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. But I wasn't in the military because when I got older, the military, when I got older, when I got to the age of when I could try to get into the military, there wasn't a whole lot going on, and they weren't really. You had to have a high school diploma, and I didn't have a high school diploma at the time, so I couldn't get in. They wouldn't accept me. I thought to myself, "Wow, that's pretty crazy." So my dad, actually, he enlisted. He enlisted during the draft during the Vietnam War. And when he enlisted, he went in and they started asking him all these questions, and they told him what his job was going to be, right? And they wanted to put him in communications, and basically they were going to put a radio on his back. And he said, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that." Because I don't know if you know, like out in the field, right? The medic and the guy with the antenna is the first people they shoot, right? So he didn't want to have a radio on his back. So since he enlisted instead of getting drafted, he was able to get a different job where he was able to drive trucks, and he didn't have to go on the front line. So thank God, right? Because once my dad came back from Vietnam is when I was made. That's when my dad came back from Vietnam. He met my mom. Well, he knew my mom before that, but once he came back, that's when everything happened. So, you know, things happen for a reason. They happen the way we're supposed to. Who knows, right? If my dad would have gotten drafted, I might not be here. Something may have happened to him. You know, over 50,000 people died in Vietnam. So, anyways, I just wanted to do my video tonight and really pay homage and thank you to all the people that serve this country and the families that make so many sacrifices for us. I know it's such a huge burden and sacrifice. And man, if you're a wife or you're a husband of a military person that's gone, and you know, I don't know how you do it, how you stay home and you take care of your family. Hats off to you, your military families, really seriously. I think people take what we have in this country for granted. And so with that being said, I'm going to say goodnight to you. God bless all you guys. I'm going to go back to the comments and read them. You guys are leaving some amazing comments. But anytime that you don't think that we have it good here, or you don't like something about this country, you know, I really think it's a shame. And I think it's disrespectful to the people that have made sacrifices to give us the freedoms that people have literally died for. So with that being said, when you give your eyeballs and your ears to me, I'm humbled and blessed that you've decided to spend the most important thing that you have in your life, and that's this moment. And the moment you spent with me on this video, I don't take any of that for granted. If you're interested in learning how to do videos, or maybe this is the first time you're seeing me, we do have a community where we help you out. It's called Live Masters. And you can look us up online, #Live Masters. Okay? So good night. God bless America. God bless you guys. And thank you for your service, for anybody that's serving this country, and especially the families. Good night, everybody.